We are live, and we're making sure Willie has internet
God.
because he is in shambles. He's in shambles over apparel. He's in shambles over outdoor internet. He's in shambles over 8-year-olds mocking him on Halo.
It is. It's a funny. I tell you what, it's a funny place that online gaming.
Your audio's like 30 seconds behind your voice. Try exiting real quick and rejoining.
Right now?
Yeah. Seeing your mouth move. I told you, shambles. Absolute shambles, this guy.
No, it's good.
Are you good
Still
now?
bad?
No, okay. I think it's good. All right.
You were here and I had YouTube on.
No, I was watching your mouth. All right.
Don't do that.
Where do you want to start today? Because you started pouting the second I sent you the link.
I didn't start pouting.
You pouted. You pouted, and that's fine. I pout sometimes.
No, what I said was, you're gonna go back-to-back shows with PSU gear on. That's what I said, right? Just making a joke, just being starting the week with a little humor.
Well, number one, now your mic's not being picked up.
Oh my God, you are.
Hey, I'm just looking out for the people, and yes, I'm wearing a beautiful sweatshirt. Will, you pointed that out, and I said, I didn't plan it, but I got a little care package yesterday. Shout out Clay Stedman, and this is one of the best sweatshirts I've ever received. So of course I'm going to wear it today. Got off a flight yesterday. It was in the mail. When I got out of the shower this morning, of course this was going on. We just so happened to be doing a show today.
And all I said was, I haven't got a T-shirt. I got a T-shirt from every freaking place on the planet. Not Kale. Kale didn't ever give me a T-shirt.
Cal didn't give me a T-shirt. Well, Cal has... Here's a fun fact. The reason I'm a Penn State fan is because of Cal, because he was a client of mine. And he actually became a client of mine at Iowa State. So he sent me some cool like Cal merch back in the day. And one of the cool things he sent me was the bobblehead. And my dog broke the bobblehead. And I'm not happy about it. So I told him he's got to send me another one. He said he's got 500 in his basement or something like that. So
500?
I don't know if he's really got 500, but he's got a ton.
One time I was sitting with Kale when it was the duels, one of the duels, the collegiate duels.
Yeah.
And some kid, a young kid, we're sitting in like the stands, like the general stands. And this is me and Kale, and some kid comes up and asks him to sign a book. And Kale's like, let me see that book. And he's flipping through it, and it's a children's book. It's like a kiddie book, but it's Kale, right? And Kale signs it, and he goes, I don't like that book. And I said, well, why is that? And he said, well, they had me in Iowa State singlet, but my head was bald. When I wrestled at Iowa State, I had hair.
Well, yeah, it is. I love a care package, and obviously working with NLWC for so long is, I will say too, by the way, that this sweatshirt. So this is the team one, and it's gotten so much requests lately that they're actually adding it to their store. So if you go, let me see if we added it to the website.
No, this is the piece de resistance. Watch this.
Well, you got to fix your mic too, and you piece de resistance. I don't know where Willie's going, but listen. So for those who want this sweatshirt,
this.
Yep. I like it.
They got the Belichick.
I like that.
They got the Belichick in the short sleeve. Only team issued. I got them, and the people are mad.
Well, listen to this.
Also, they're mad because they can't buy them.
So they were getting so many requests for this shirt that they're selling a very similar one, but it's Champion. So this is the Nike one, but they're selling a Champion one. It's in the NLWC store. So we just added it. Go to NittanyLionWrestlingClub.com, click store, and you can go buy one. Because so many people are like Willie and wanting one. So, and by the way, this was given to me. If the brands, if Morningstar want to send Hawkeye gear, maybe we'll see that next week. So,
Devin Dietrich said he'll send me a Zane bobblehead, which I would love.
I would love a Zane bobblehead too. I gotta ask Yanni. I want the Yanni bobblehead. That's a pretty cool one where he's holding up the Force.
I never saw it.
All right, so that's the apparel segment.
That was an apparel segment that absolutely nobody asked for.
Why does it still not sound like your mic's being picked up?
I don't know.
That's fine. You sound good enough. If anybody complains about the audio, just know that I tried. All right, Willie. You have we've got so many different things here because we didn't do a show the second half of last week because you were playing Halo. So we didn't get a and I was flying Friday, Monday.
It's not being picked up. So I got some problems. Here's the thing. I stopped drinking. I haven't had a drink since
For those listening to audio, it looks like Willie's discombobulated by trying to change his microphone on his settings. So go watch on YouTube or go watch watch on Rockfin, wherever, and you can see Willie very confused staring at the computer, trying to just fix this, and he's gone. Let's read the comments for a few minutes while Willie fixes this. Sorry, guys. We just wanted to sound good. He's back. Okay.
Do you hear me now?
Now I hear you great. Now, okay. Howard Stern in his prime right there.
Here's the thing about the Halo thing. You're busting my chops about.
Stop touching the damn mic. You keep knocking it off. Is
there something wrong with this?
I don't know, but you just touched it and it sounded off. Now it sounds good. Look, see this? Suspend it in front of you. Day one podcaster, you noob.
Well, it's I'm a bit disgruntled. I'm actually not disgruntled. I feel great. But I haven't had a drink. So after the last day of National Duels, I woke up the next day. I said, hey, you know what? I ain't drinking. I ain't drinking no more. I'm not drinking. I'm tired of drinking.
There you go.
Right? But at the same time, I ran out of chew. And I was like, I give it up, too. I give up chew. So since National Duels, I haven't had not one drink, not one sip of alcohol, and also not one chew, like a real chew. I've had pouches.
I'm sober, Willie.
Just the struggle is real. But it was driving me nuts, and I couldn't sleep. So I went and bought an Xbox and played Halo until my eyes bled.
Yeah,
I had to fill some time. I had to
Now you're sitting there arguing with 8-year-olds that are dissing you, and your mother's this and your mother's that. Yeah.
Oh, it's so funny. It's a whole different world out there in the gaming stuff. The people are telling me so there's 40-year-olds on a headset saying, "Oh, you stink." Well, I don't know why. Why are you playing in this division? Well, shut up, you loser.
All right, Willie, where do you want to start? Do you want to go back to last week and talk a little bit about the Jax Forrest situation? Because you had said you had said on our last show Jax Forrest competing second semester is a done deal, and then Minio kind of got a different vibe and tweeted something out about this isn't going to happen, and it wasn't necessarily taking a shot at you. It's just more as things progressing, people talking.
No, listen, how many things have I gotten wrong over 15, 20 years, however long it's been? Not many. Name something. This it might be wrong. It might turn out to be wrong, but I am telling you, I was with all these guys all weekend. They acted like it was a foregone conclusion that Jax was coming second semester. And very important people. Like I would not make that statement if I didn't have a reason to. I wasn't looking to make noise. I didn't lead the show with it. We were an hour into the show when I was like, oh, yeah, by the way.
Yeah.
Everybody is acting like Jax is coming second semester. Like Howard Forrest, I talked to Howard Forrest afterward, and he was like, you could have called me. And I'm like, listen, I would call you if I had a question about it. They did not appear to have a question about it down in Oklahoma, right? So, and Howard himself said, it's been discussed. We're unsure at this time. There's questions about this 5-for-5 thing, this legislation that may or may not happen. So there's a lot of moving parts and nothing is finalized. It's definitely been discussed, guys. But one of the guys said to me, it's the world's. I said something about Jack. I said something straight up to him about Jack's coming second semester. He's like, that's the world's worst kept secret. Wrestling's worst kept secret, he said. I'm telling you, it may not happen, but it was damn close to happening or discussed or still may happen.
Now, there was so much commentary around it, which, commentary on wrestling is literally what we do. I just realized that your mug is flicking me off every time you lift it up. There's so much commentary, like, would he actually compete for the team and compete in the postseason, and would that burn his, use a red shirt later? Like,
okay, so there's the second prong of it. Listen, before the season started, this was discussed before the season started. The potential of Jax coming and wrestling this season for Okie State.
Yep.
This wasn't a recent thing. It was discussed for a long time. It's still being discussed. It's still a possibility. It's still a consideration. On one hand, and a majority of the Oklahoma State fans seem to say, no, don't do it. Let's save him. Let's keep him in red shirt. Let's keep him down the line. Which is surprising to me.
Well, you'd also said that with Ronnie Ramirez wrestling so good. Like, there is... I understand the school of thought of, like, hey, if Richie Figs doesn't pan out, and then all of a sudden you have Ronnie Ramirez wrestle national duels, look very good, and then you said, too, I'm sure that could potentially... And Oklahoma State fans are very high in Ronnie Ramirez, as they should be. Kid's a stud. So, I understand the notion of why rush him there when,
Well, I'll tell you why rush him. Well, first of all, it was surprising to me that that the Oklahoma State fan base was overwhelmingly, please save him. Don't do this.
Yeah.
It's surprising when anything's overwhelming in one regard. But here's where I'm at. Love Ronnie Ramirez. I was one of Ronnie Ramirez's top.
I love Ronnie Ramirez.
Top fans. Half the country didn't know who he was coming out. Kid was really good, and he wrestled really well this summer or last week. So much so that the narrative you felt them kind of changing because the morning of day 2, they were down like on 133. Like, oh man, what are we gonna do at 133? Richie's not working out. Richie's not doing this, doing that. And then Ronnie has a standing single on Drake Ayala, and afterwards the vibe kind of shifted. Like, oh, maybe we really have something here in Ronnie Ramirez. But they too, I'm sure had the gut feeling that Richie wasn't going to pan out, right? Which kind of started the ball rolling on the Jax situation. They didn't go out and get Richie and then saw what they had in Richie and then still tinkered with the idea of bringing Jax in. If Richie was all systems go, they wouldn't have said a word to Jax about coming in. They knew that Richie wasn't optimized, right?
Yeah.
which started this conversation. Now, you can say, the Oklahoma fan base can say, we got Ronnie and he'll be fine for now. But what do you, I'm team bring in Jax. Ronnie Ramirez is a nice blood rounder, round of 16 guy. Jax Forrest is a high podium threat. He's a title contender. And if you look at Crystal Ball, no, they're not going to catch Penn State, but they'll have a considerable better chance with 15 more points from Jax.
Yeah. I do
want to the podium.
Yeah, I do want to follow up too on one thing, because we had said last week, like we were talking about Richie and his national duels performance, and throughout that he was allegedly paid $200,000 and this and that, and I saw some tweets that I don't know if they were about us or not, but along the lines of like, be careful where you hear Oklahoma State news from and this and that. And just to be clear, like the number that I threw out was from an NIL class action lawsuit that had numbers that guys were being paid: Ferrari, Peterson, Bailey, Williams, Volk, Figs, Pinto, Dean, Swiderski. So they're numbers that are represented in a class action lawsuit. It's not just like somebody saying like, hey, this guy got a duffel bag of cash. Like it's documented in a class action lawsuit in an affidavit saying this, and that. So, it wasn't just, and again, I'm not saying that tweet was even about us. I just wanted to clarify that where I saw that was a class action lawsuit.
What tweet was about us?
That like when we had said that, like, we were talking about Figs and his performance, and is that going to be a bust when he was allegedly paid $200,000 to transfer? And then there was people saying like, well, where does this $200,000 number come from?
I don't remember that. I don't remember discussing Figs' number at all.
It was passive in the conversation. It wasn't a focal point of last week. It was just, but I just thought I'd bring that up.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, he didn't go there for nothing.
Yeah. So,
but yeah. Anyway, I'm generally speaking, I don't quite understand the. I mean, there was a time that I did, but I don't understand the save the guy for later type thing.
Well, you got people on both sides. You got people who are saying
Jax Forrest, save Jax for 4 years from now when we have a shot to win the title. He's gonna be there. He'll be there 2, 3, 4 years from now. It's not one or the other. And guess what? You have all you're doing is kicking the problem down the road. Like, there's going to become a time where it's going to be hard to get everybody in the lineup, right? And you're going to have to manage Olympic years and manage redshirt years. Now with the portal and the transferring and the NIL, put your best team on the mat. Best team on the. Well, Jax Forrest, I don't know. Is he gonna make the difference in the team title this year? Probably not, because Penn State is such a heavy favorite. So what? It'll help increase your chances of finishing on the podium, taking second instead of fourth. Who knows if Penn State has a upset or somebody rolls their ankle and gets injured, whatever the case may be. You put your best team on the mat, and I think that David truly believes that. But I'm team get Jax there. But if there's an idea of wrestling now, if the only holdup is should he wrestle now or save him for later, I understand there's a whole other thing. Just let kids be kids. Let him go to prom. Let him take his time. Yeah, that's fine. If that's what I saw.
That's
what you want to do. If that's what Jax wants to do, then that's what Jax should do. But I'm saying if the decision is should we wrestle him now or save him for later? If that's the only thing, you wrestle him now.
No, I agree with that. Like, I agree. I was talking to the captain, Bashad, about it, and he's like, he's more on the lines, why rush him into college? Let him finish high school. Those are like, prime years of your, like, I understand that argument. I agree with you on this, on the standpoint of, like, if you're just trying to get him there right now for the best lineup, like, or not, or save him. So not like, yeah,
like Taz Hockey. He's not. He's making a comment in the chat. I wouldn't burn it. The goal is to win national titles, and they have better shot by saving him. That is that is a consistent message of Okie State fans. I don't know if Taz is a Okie State fan, and I get that. But you're telling me that wrestling Jax Forrest this year is going to hinder them from winning team titles in the future? No, it's not. First of all, you're talking about 1 year. And they have a ton of guys that are there or coming to be there. They're going to be fine in 4 years from now.
Yeah.
Anyway, if you disagree, fine. No, I just don't buy that argument. I just don't buy in 4 years from now, it'll be better. You take away this year and add it 5 years from now? Because that's what you're worried about? No, stop. You'll have a solution. You'll have other solutions by then. I don't know how a fan base, or I don't know how a wrestling fan, anybody that follows wrestling, can see what D-Lockett is doing, can see what Sergio Vega has done, can see what Landon Robideau has done, and then also say we need to keep Jax for 5 years from now.
Yeah.
I mean, these guys are title contenders 3 seconds after stepping on the mat.
Yeah. No, you're not wrong.
Do you don't think that David Taylor is going to recruit a 33-pounder in 2 years? That's going to be the next Jax Forrest-ish type guy. That's going to be the next Landon Robideau. Stop. So that's the Jax Forrest situation.
That's the Jax Forrest situation. What do you want to dive into next?
Well, let's go with the week that was. We didn't preview a whole ton of it. There wasn't a lot of meat on the bone, but there was some significant stuff, particularly involving Penn State guys. Is really the first Penn State action. They wrestled Oklahoma, but number one team in the country, and a lot of teammate heads-to-heads at the Black Knight Invite. Why don't you break that down for us?
Yeah, so we had a lot of Penn State guys there. I think it was like 20 guys there. So Desmond,
we got 20 spots.
So Desmond looked awesome. He took out Cooper Flynn, and then he took out Charlie Farmer, and then he wrestled Lillidahl, and he beat Lillidahl 5-3. And, we didn't dive into it too much last week. We really dove heavy into national duels, and we didn't really talk about Penn State depth as much as we probably could have. And this week here, you kind of see it again, where, you see Duke and Sealy have a close 2-1 match that was decided on a stall call that had a classic Willie. I forgot which meme it was.
James Harden.
Yeah, yep. But
Christian Piles tweeted the final stall call. If you want to just cut to the chase and see how the match was decided, go to Twitter and go to Christian Piles' feed, and he has the stall call that determined the match. It was just, I hate those.
I do too, but
yeah.
And so Desmond beats Lillidahl, which it's kind of like a couple things. Number one, it's like the curse that has been the last couple of years of being the number one guy at 125. That as soon as you're number one, you take a loss. And, I am interested, Willie, in your thoughts on this. We always see teammates that wrestle each other, and maybe there's a wonky outcome, maybe there's a super close match, and it's very apparent that when teammates wrestle teammates, a lot of things can happen. I'm curious your thoughts on, one thing that's I feel like is not talked about as much in these matches is the lack of the coaches. So when teammates wrestle, typically their coaches just kind of, hey guys, you go compete and we'll see you after the match. Like, they're not going to coach their guys against their other guys. And I'm always curious when I see a match like Lilladal versus Desmond, would it look different if the coaches were in the corner?
I don't think so. I don't think so. Frankly, I can't believe that we've never talked about this. Nobody has ever talked about this. I don't think that anybody in the history of wrestling has ever talked about this, but I don't know that there even needs to be coaches in the corners. Give me an incident, give me a time, give me a situation where a coach made in-match adjustments during the match that changed the outcome of that match. No coaching goes on during a match.
I would disagree. I'll talk to some people today and get their opinion on it that have actually been there. But I do think you have guys. We've seen some from brick throws to little conversations that I think do help athletes make adjustments. Like
that, the brick throwing might be a thing. I mean, they're the ones that have to challenge, right? But nobody is saying, hey, when this guy does that, do this. I mean, they all say it.
Yeah.
But does that happen during the match? Like, there was a break in the action and there was an injury, and the guy came over and he said, hey, when he posts his hand, you do this. And then he did that, and that wasn't the match. No, that doesn't happen.
Well, it's a fair critique. I'm going to talk to a couple people today, get their opinion on it. Maybe we'll have a guest next week to give.
Nobody even listens to the coaches. All you hear is you don't hear no.
All right. Well, either way, so Desmond beats Lilladal 5-3. There was immediate chatter like, what does this mean for Desmond? I don't think it means anything. I think Lilladal's the guy this year. I think Desmond's going to redshirt, and I don't think that changes anything for the Penn State lineup.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I agree. They're teammates. Plus, they were teammates at SEM.
Yeah.
So they've been training together for a while, and it's certainly not a great sign. Like, it's not. The number one guy in the country and a title contender, and he was third last year, and he's all world.
Yeah.
Lost a match. That's not a great thing. But put it in perspective a little bit.
Yeah.
And I think it would be different. I think, and there's a lot of narrative. You guys are talking about like, get another takedown, do this, like, you guys are not talking about technique wise. Like, we're on the other hand, we're talking about a scoreless match. You guys are talking about go get another takedown. That's like, okay, guys, you're talking about two different things. But another thing, everybody's talking about who should be number one at 125, and should the loss to Desmond like punish Luke. I think that if there was somebody unblemished, like, it would be a bigger thing. Okay, well, this guy's 10-0 and beat 3, 5, and 8. Well, we don't have that at 125. Everybody got a loss. Everybody. V-Rob got a loss. Ventresca got a loss. Jory got a loss. And you got Lilladal and Bouzakis, who only have losses to teammates.
And for an NCAA and for intermittent flow, you guys can obviously seed and rank however you want. For NCAA, they've officially said that losses against teammates won't count for seeds and rankings. So I saw some people that I think Flow put out new rankings with Robinson at 1, and people
what did Intermac do?
I don't think they're out yet. I don't know if they're out because when I was doing seeds for the Cyhawk dual lineup, I didn't see. Maybe they're out now. Robinson's 1, 2. Intermat has Robinson 1, Lilidal 2, Buzakis 3, Volk 4.
That's a. Do you see the picture that Intermat used, that Earl used for the rankings? That's a funny picture.
Yeah.
Tom's funny. Okay, so they went. So both institutions went V-Rob 1, Lilidal 2.
Yeah.
Interesting. And Lilidal and Buzakis, both with a loss, both with one loss, and that loss was to their teammate. Very interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I don't look at college rankings in the same lens I look at other stuff because I don't really care. So I don't know what the rationale is for that. I, of course, kept Lilidal 1 in Crystal Ball.
Which we're going to get into Crystal Ball in a little bit.
That being said, who the hell knows what 125... I don't know. I think you could wrestle the tournament 3, 4, or 5 times and have 5 different results at 125.
100%. And like you said, it'd be very different if you had a very clear, this guy beat 3 top 10 guys and is undefeated, Mm-hmm.
I had a good conversation with Nathan at RAF too. Desmond's a guy, he's from right here in the Lehigh Valley. I wrestled with his uncles. They were on my team growing up. His uncle and his grandfather ran Red Hawk Wrestling Club, still to this day. And they've started so many great careers. Like a lot of really good guys in PA and Jersey started at Red Hawk. Really good wrestling family. But anyway, so I knew Nathan since he was a pup, and I had a really good conversation with him at RAF. He said he loved school, he loved the program. He did say that 125 was a little bit of a cut, which was one thing I was worried about. I always thought that Nathan was maybe not a career 25, but I thought he'd make it comfortably for a couple years. But that seems to be maybe not the case. Now, I don't know. Maybe it's just a college adjustment.
Penn State did sign another career 125er over the weekend.
Mm-hmm. But so my point is, I'm not sure how long he holds 25. Maybe he holds it forever. Maybe it's just a college adjustment and he has to learn how to get down to weight and manage his weight and those sort of things. Or maybe he's really that big and 125 is not in his future for very long. I don't know. But he's always been elite-ish or on the verge of elite-ish. He beat Leo DeLuca in National Prep Finals a year or two ago. And placed at all the top events, the Super 32, Fargo, etc., etc. But it's a really nice piece to have. And who the heck knows if Desmond is, and not to be lost. I'm not gonna say why he's the next big thing about it, but if you're a Penn State fan and you're looking at it very in depth, he didn't just beat Luke in a one takedown match. He also had a very solid sort of tell me you're prepared for college wrestling type things with win over Charlie Farmer of Army and somebody else. Somebody else.
Cooper Flynn. Cooper
Flynn, okay? So, like, not that Cooper Flynn's a world beater, not that Charlie Farmer's a world beater, but to beat a solid guy in Farmer, to beat a solid guy in Cooper Flynn, and then to be, because like anybody can beat a teammate in a single match, in a single takedown, a one takedown match, but looking at the pieces, looking at his path, solid win, major win. It shows that Desmond's pretty good asset, and who knows how that he'll be deployed or how they can manage the personnel there.
Yeah, for sure. So then moving through at 133, Marcus Blaze bonus his way through, got a tech pin, major tech, and then Kyson Garcia wins it. He got. Never mind, I skipped. And then at 41, Nagao was up 3-0 and got injured, and injury defaulted out. And I didn't see exactly what happened, but it looked like his wrist, which, man, it is a bummer for Nagao after missing all of last year for injury. Now here in November, and
Yeah, I don't know what to make of it. I don't know. There's a couple questions going around. How bad is Nagao's injury? Don't know. I have no idea. It's his wrist, right? It was a wrist.
It looked like it, yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. It could be it hurt in the moment and he got a little scared and there was no reason to continue, or it could be serious. I have no idea. And then the other one is Crookham. Somebody posted yesterday on a message board, Crookham tore a labrum, and he might be on the shelf, and he might miss a whole nother year again. And then this morning, I guess, Crookham tweeted something like God's plan or whatever the case. God is, mysterious. God works in mysterious ways or whatever. So, yeah, and again, I don't know. They're not going to be. Nobody's going to be forthright with these things. Nobody's going to come out and say, "Hey, yeah, Nagao's fine," and you're just supposed to believe that. Nobody's going to say, "Hey, Crookham's fine." Oh no, Crookham's hurt. And Lehigh's certainly not going to come out and say, "Hey, Crookham's done for the year." That's not how it's going to happen.
Which is crazy though, because we could end up seeing Braden Davis after all if Nagao is injured. I think you probably maybe not redshirt Davis then.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's good problems, right? Nagao goes down, you have a guy as good as Braden Davis to wrestle,
right?
And not use his red shirt. But yeah, it's interesting. Yep. In terms of crystal ball, I did an update because there were so many good results and so many good early season results with national duels. I don't know if you guys you want to talk about that now or as we go or at the end. Okay.
Let's finish Black Knight and then we'll roll into Crystal Ball.
Right.
We got to talk
give us
Cyhawk
more Black
duel.
Knight stuff. Give us 149.
49, Shane Van Ness wins it, beats teammate Connor Pierce 14-7. Dalton Perry was in there. He got a tech, and then he injury defaulted his next match. So I didn't see what happened there. But
can I get on Flow Arena? I can't even get on Flow Arena. Oh, now I can. Yesterday it was bumping me to Flow.
They got a lifetime Willie ban.
No, it was. I was typing in Flow Arena, and it was taking me.
Well, that's because it's next gen now.
Next gen?
Yeah. All right, so then 57, we got PJ Duke versus Joe Seeley in the finals. And we talked about a little bit earlier, Duke gets the 2-1 win decided on a stall call.
Mm-hmm. That waits it.
And Willie did the James Harden, side-eye walk-away meme.
So stupid. These stall calls are so stupid. I mean, You know what's crazy? And again, hell, it's been a while now. I was at Flow when these rules were introduced. The boundary edge stall calls, action, push out, or stall, or you know, it's either an action call, it's a stall call on the guy pushing you out of bounds, or it's a stall call on the guy being pushed out of bounds. Those are the three options. And we said then, me and Piles in unison, that it's stupid, and it's going to be stupid. And sure enough, we're 5, 6, 7 years into this, and it's still stupid. I mean, go look at the juxtapose the PJ Duke Sealy situation with the Patty Gallagher Andrew Sparks situation. Kind of similar, and why complicating matters and just like makes you scratch your head is that there was a time period before the edge stalling calls where, if you know your wrestling history and you watch it, you've been watching it for 20 years, you know that there was a time when they called stalling often. Like, if you weren't doing much, they called stalling, what's the word? Subjectively.
Yeah.
Or objectively. No, subjectively. They called it if it was in their opinion. If it was in their opinion that you weren't doing much, if you were evading, if you weren't active, they would call you for stalling. Now, there are almost no subjective stalling calls based on my eyeballs. In the middle of the mat, I'm working for shots, I'm taking shots, you're evading. You never see a ref just subjectively, hey, you're stalling. The only time you see it is with 7 seconds to go, and this guy's up by 3, or this guy's up by 2, and he's attacking. Most of the time, the guy's up by 12, and it's symbolic, and it's just immaterial. But there was a time when referees called it, you ain't working, you're stalling. The coaches got on the ref so hard and so bad, and he's stalling, and he's not stalling. And the other coach would be, you're letting that coach get into your head, and you're calling that guy for stalling because he's in the corner yelling, right? And so what happened was the refs, and this was like agreed upon in a meeting. This wasn't just like I'm not going to call stalling anymore. This was like they had a meeting. We're not calling subjective stalling anymore. We're not doing it. And that was like the lead up to these edge stalling calls. Well, you're not going to call stalling. Well, at least you got to call something to keep them on the mat. Okay, so now we'll implement this edge stalling rule where it's action, or you're pushed, or you're allowing yourself to be pushed out of bounds. And I don't know. You can't make heads or tails of it. It's like if you're on the edge, you don't know what they're going to call, and you just have to suck it up and accept your fate, because it's stupid.
And it is funny, Willie. Everybody hates the transfer portal. Everybody hates building these teams and the NIL bags, and everybody hates all that. And then all of a sudden, Duke and Sealy have a close match, and people are like, oh, Sealy should transfer out. Sealy should transfer somewhere. It's like, well, you guys either hate the portal or you don't. Like, it's when it's convenient, they love it. When they think somebody is getting paid, though, all of a sudden it's evil and demonic. The second they had that close match, and look, I mean, Sealy's basically a third string. Like, I'm not saying that that's the same thing as somebody being poached, but it is crazy the number of comments like so-and-so should transfer out. And we saw it this weekend, or I saw it this weekend after Sealy Duke, but it is always funny. Like, how fast people come out with that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Sealy's not going to transfer.
No, I don't think so
Sealy's
either.
happy. I mean, at least not anytime soon. I mean, maybe a graduate senior or something. Like, he's not. He's happy where he's at, but it does. It does. And it's not different. It's not too much different from Lilladal Desmond, but it does when you think about the picture of 157 and Duke is winning on a stall call against Joe Sealy. In crystal ball, again, I do not like do crystal ball from a team perspective, and I'm going through and I'm saying, well, Penn State is doing this, I was doing this, and I don't have Keeter as high as he could be, so maybe I'll make Dean Peterson higher than I just go straight up what I think weight by weight, and at the end you get what you get, right?
Yep.
These are my opinions, but weight by weight, and then holistically at the end you get what you get, and you get the team scores. I stuck every weight. I did my opinion, and I came out with 8 Penn State champs. It's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. They won't have 8 in the finals. They certainly won't have 8 champs. What I'm getting at here with PJ Duke is PJ Duke might be the best 157. He might win NCAAs this year, but the margins aren't big. He ain't a next topic guy, right? I don't think.
Did that prove himself? It's early.
There's a lot of talent at 157,
Yeah.
and PJ on a match by match basis, you probably take him against everybody. This match, that match, this match, but you could be. I mean, he could be tripped up by one match. He could be tripped up by one guy.
All right.
So first of all, let me get to something in the chat, because something I said, everybody's taking the wrong way. Maybe I worded it wrong. I don't know. I am not saying take the coaches out of the corner. I didn't say we should take the coaches out of the corner. I did not say that. I did not say that. I mean, I don't know how I worded it. But I'm not saying coaches don't serve a purpose. Yes, they help with the demeanor of the wrestling. They help with emotions. They help with what you should challenge, what you shouldn't challenge. What I'm saying is the instances of in-match coaching are very few and far between, almost non-existent. So you guys are like saying, that's crazy, Willie. You're suggesting taking the coach. I'm not suggesting taking the coaches out of the corner.
I think you literally said ban all coaches, but
I did not say ban.
Somebody go back and see what Willie said. But all right, let's get through the Black Knight because we got a lot still to talk about. Messenbrink wins, dominates at 65. Levi wins it at 74, beats William Henkel 4-0. 84, Rocco Welch wins. He beats teammate Asher Cunningham. He majors him 13-5, which Willie's.
I there's another small little nugget in that this wasn't NCAAs at 184, but when you're talking about a true freshman, that's a pretty nice result for Asher to come through. Some true freshman, 184 pounds, several upperclassmen in that bracket, including Zaroff, and it's a solid showing for Asher.
Yeah. And then Connor Marasola wins it at 97. And then 285, we saw the last Penn State versus Penn State with Cole Marasola versus Lucas Cochran. Was a 3-1 win for Cole. And that was the Black Knight Open, or Black Knight Invite. Sorry, the Black Knight Open was the week before.
That was the Black Knight Invite.
That was the Black Knight Invite.
Seth Chisuli's in the chat. Seth Chisuli, that is Nathan Desmond's uncle, and that's who I was talking about. I wrestled with him and his brothers, and his maybe Seth can. If you go on Twitter, Seth does some of the best. I don't know if there's another person in content that does better match breakdowns than Seth Chisuli. Go on Twitter and look at his X. Go on Twitter, look at Seth Chisuli, and look at his match breakdown of Nathan, who's his nephew, and Luke Littledahl, and then go on his YouTube page. He has excellent match breakdowns. I want to hire him. I want to hire Seth, but he's a soul. He's a peacock. He's flying on his own. He's doing great. But it's a great channel. Great channel. Sincerely, I'm not blowing smoke up his ass because I know him or because he's in the chat or because he's listening. He sincerely probably does the best match breakdowns and technique in wrestling content.
So go tune into that. Willie, do you want to do a rundown of the crystal ball updates? And I think you have 2 crystal balls. You did an updated crystal ball, and then you did a crystal ball with Penn State's backups in it, right?
No, I did not. Penn State Bash. I did not do it with Penn State's backup.
It is a fascinating. Piles tweeted it out. I was talking to Shada about it. Like, it is a fascinating conversation that Penn State has so much depth. What would a Penn State backup team look like at NCAAs? It is you could be a Penn State hater and say they would do terrible. You can do a Penn State fan and say they would do great. Regardless, it's a fascinating conversation with how much depth they have.
Yeah. It's them and Oklahoma State too. I think it's fascinating. The depth they have, the pieces they have, and barring injury, I think we know the lineups that we're going to get for both. But it really makes what it makes for is really great off-season stuff.
Yeah.
When you're talking about, is this guy getting bigger? What weight can he go? How are they going to manage the lineup? How are they going to manage red shirts and things like that? And Penn State has, just a luxury of talent, and I think we know what we're going to get this year, pretty much. But what are we going to get going forward for the next few years?
All right, well, let's dive into Crystal Ball. Let's pull it up. So, again, I always give this disclaimer for people who don't know, who are new around here, because we always get new fans and subscribers. Willie's Crystal Ball rankings are not based on current resume. They're his prediction for how NCAAs will end up. It is not based on current matchups. It is not rankings. If you want rankings, go to Intermat. Crystal Ball is more so his prediction for how the final rankings of the year will look. And they're available on rockfin.com/MattScouts.
That's right. So a little different. I think there's, it's pretty. I just started where I was just like not frustrated with college. A little boring and a little disingenuous. I mean, they're the cat's meow. People love college rankings, and they serve a great purpose to give you a general barometer and also a general barometer for hardcore fans and context for casual fans. Because it doesnn't matter if, like, let's say I'm a casual football fan and I'm watching college football and South Carolina beats Missouri. Now, that might not mean much, but if the number next to South Carolina is 21 and the number next to Missouri is 10, then you're like, it gives you context. Oh, that's an upset. And so a casual fan might not know that, like, okay, Nick Bouzakis is 21 and this guy's 4. They might not know that much. But if 21 beats 4, then it's a big deal, right? Well, crystal ball is more of, it serves a different purpose. Like, frankly, it matters that people lose, but it doesn't mean that I think it happens again. And doesn't mean, okay, here's a perfect example. Illinois, Missouri. I love, they wrestle early every year. It's a border rivalry. It's a pretty good matchup. 10 guys that are all pretty dang good every year. It's one of my favorite duels of the year. It's a great tradition. And Cade Moore, who had a solid start to his career, really kind of like faded a little bit, fell off a little bit. He almost pinned Lucas Bird. Some people would say that
he looks stuck. I wouldn't make that call, but he looked stuck.
Lucas Bird. Now, let's say they call that pin. Let's say they call it. Let's say they call Cade Moore pin. Lucas Bird's pinned. In regular rankings, Intermat's going to be forced to drop Bird a little bit. In crystal ball, to me, it means nothing. Like Jake Van D a couple weeks ago, he's up by 9 points, 8 points. 30 seconds ago, he gets cement mixered and pinned. The rankers, they drop Van D, and they should. That's how rankings work. Crystal ball means nothing to me. I mean, the guy was up. He was in major territory, and he got pinned late. To me, it means nothing. So, the value of that, to me, is that it like crystal ball paints a cleaner picture to me. Yeah. More subjective, but like, let's get real. Like Luke Lildahl, for example. We'll start at 25. Lildahl stays the top. The rankings for me, I have Lildahl winning it. I think he's the best all-around wrestler. I think 125 is pure parity. And I've been thinking this for like 4, 5, 6 years. 125, 133, they're my favorite weights. They've always been my favorite weights. I think they're more active. There's more dynamics to it. They level change better. They scramble better. They can go upper body as well. I mean, it's just, to me, it's more dynamic. Yeah. But for the past 4, 5, 6 years, oh my God, they wrestle like heavyweights.
It frustrates the hell out of you.
One score matches and really pick your spots, and oh my God, just go wrestle. Have a little confidence. What are you scared of? I don't know what they're scared of, like collectively, but man, it's like watching paint dry some of the time. Go shoot, for freak's sake. Anyway, I got Lildahl still at number 1. V-Rob, Spratley, Volk, Van Treska, Seymour, Peterson, Pullen are my AAs. I have Bouzakis and Strickenberger in the blood round. For people that are saying, wow, where's Bouzakis? Why do you have him? Well, first of all, the Bouzakis is in a dogfight to make the team, right? Number 1. Number 2, I think Bouzakis and Strickenberger are clearly good enough to AA, right? The Strickenberger was blood round last year. But here's the thing. When you look at Bouzakis went out there, and Ohio State fans, Bouzakis went out there, he just slapped on a cradle and pinned Peterson in a minute. How do you have him behind Peterson? Well, Bouzakis weighed in at like 9 a.m. and wrestled at 6. Right? That's going to be. I'm not saying he can't. I hope he does. I would love to see Nick Bouzakis go crazy at NCAAs. I hope it happens because he's had a really weird career. I love the kid. I love the family. But until I see, can he wrestle that way right off the scale? I don't know. So I'm reserving judgment. I'm being conservative with him. The same thing with Strickenberger. Now, Strickenberger is a little different story. We saw Strickenberger against Ryder this weekend, off the scale. No bueno. He melted down. And listen, I'm not being critical of Strickenberger because that is all weight cut. You can see it in his eyes. You could see it in his eyes in the first period. That kid was sucked out. And so I think that Strickenberger is as talented as just about anybody, but can you make weight for 3 days and wrestle effectively? Right now, the answer is probably no. I mean, on the flip side, if you're a Ryder fan or if you're just an objective viewer, you can say, how do you have Strickenberger? How do you have Strickenberger in the blood round, Willie? He just lost to Tyler Klinsky. You could go that way too. Here's why. Here's my rationale for that. If he's, this is November. If he gets his way, if he can shrink his body, if he gets to a point where he can make weight effectively, he is that good. And so that's where I'm at with those guys. Any surprises?
Yeah, it's funny because no, there's no surprises. In 125, like you said, there's so much parity that anything can happen. And it's one of those, like, what are you going to fight in here if you don't like one of the rankings? You know what I mean? Like, if you don't like one of the predictions, based on what? That's what's so funny about this weight.
Yeah. Well, and people are talking about Poulin. Strickenberger beats Poulin. Poulin's another one, and Poulin's another one that's sort of an enigma. He could be really good, but we haven't even seen him this year. Has Poulin wrestled a match this year?
That's a good question.
I don't know that he has.
Yeah, I thought he did.
He has? I don't think against it.
He wrestled against the Nebraska D2 Caleb Coyle. He got a 15-6 major. So he wrestled one match, but tell T-Ram he should be watching the show. If T-Ram knows when we go live.
Tony Ramos. Hey, I'm live on a show. I'll call you back in a little bit. That a boy. Now we're talking. I can't wait to talk to you. I'm going to call you back in a half hour. I love you. Bye.
T-Ram should be watching the show. All right.
He's fired up about something. I can't wait to talk to him. That's a great man. T-Ram. I can't wait to tell you what he just said too, Bash. I'm surprised that Mike didn't pick it up. Poulin wrestled Caleb Coyle. Okay, so we don't know what he is. I mean, he hasn't wrestled anybody good this year.
We could. We're going to try to preview it if Willie can get these crystal ball updates in the next couple hours. Cyhawk duel is this weekend, which that would be number 7 versus number 8.
So
I
juicy.
think Dean Peterson, Poulin.
It's so juicy. I mean, I fully expect Iowa to. Frankly, I expect Iowa to dominate. I don't think Iowa's in jeopardy of losing the duel. I don't. But there's a path. I would be there. I would be there if I'm going to RAF. I'm going to Real American Freestyle. So, anyway, that's 125. 133. Blaze Crookham Bird. Now Bird, I had Bird 5th. Number 1, I think it's hard to repeat.
surprised you still have Crookham so high. That was my one surprise here.
Well, okay, tell me what's changed.
We haven't seen him wrestle in who knows how long. Like, it's not that you got to be weary. Like, even thinking of the Dean Elam match this weekend, which I think could be the premier match of the night. It's like Elam's still easing back in after a year off. I think it's always.
I think here's my thing with Crookham, and this is his MO, and this is his DNA. It goes back to high school. We don't see him a lot.
Yeah.
Whether it's injuries or whatever the case may be, sitting out. I mean, you look at the big board. You'll look at the big board and you see 20 next to his name, which 20 is really, really good. You're the 20th best prospect in America the year you graduate. That's really, really good. However, he was certainly at his peak on a match-by-match basis, much, much better than 20. Okay, well, Willie, why did you have him 20 and not 5? Because I was worried about his injuries.
Yeah.
Because he didn't wrestle a lot at the end of his high school career. He was pound for pound on a match-by-match basis, one of the best prospects coming out that year. But I was worried about his health, and that's why he was 20. And sure enough, he has constant injury concerns, and we don't see him a lot. That being said, he's very... I mean, this is a guy who beat Vito Araju 2 or 3 times last year. That's how good he is. Flip side, injured, couldn't wrestle postseason.
Yeah, that's for
couldn't
me where
wrestle
it's
last
like...
year. Couldn't wrestle last year. And now there's injury questions again. There's rumors going around. I don't know how true they are. There's a lot of people saying it's definitely true. Other people saying it's definitely false. I don't know. I'm really close with the Lehigh staff. But when things like this happen, I'm always in a really awkward position because it's like somebody put a rumor out on a Facebook page. Now I'm gonna call like my friend, like Zach Ray's my friend, right? Brad Dillon's my friend. Pat Santoro, I love. Somebody posts something on a message board. Now I'm supposed to call Zach Ray. Hey Zach, what's up with Crookham? I hate doing that. I don't like. I'm not that.
No,
guy.
Again, I get it. It's like I'd be a lot less surprised if you had Crookham 5 or 6. Keeping him in AA status, but like...
Okay, well, here's the problem. Here's the conundrum with Crookham. Is frankly, he doesn't have to be healthy. He doesn't have to wrestle a match. He's that good. The dude is that good. He doesn't have to... To me, he does not have to wrestle in November. He doesn't have to wrestle December. He doesn't have to wrestle January. He can come back for a few duels in February, win EIWAs, and then what are you going to say? He's a problem. He's a threat. Right? Some guys, to me, need to prove it over time. We'll get to in the next weight, 141. I last night I tweeted Crystal Ball's out. An Oklahoma State fan wrote back. He obviously read it. He wrote back. He said, Willie, I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm not angry. But why is Vega still behind Hardy? And to me, I can see Vega winning that match again. I mean, he ate Brock up in that match. But he's also 8 matches into his college career. Brock Hardy is 6 years into his college career. And Brock Hardy has been an All-American every single year. I just need more body of work, more consistency over time from Vega. That's where I'm at. I think that if they wrestled again in a high-stakes situation, Brock Hardy could vary. Let me ask you this. If Brock Hardy wrestled... Vega majored Brock. But if they wrestle again, and they will because they have a duel, are you telling me Brock Hardy can't win that match?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not, right? So, if you're telling me that Brock Hardy can win that match, and Brock Hardy has 4 years of AAing and Sergio Vega has 8 matches in his life, there's plenty of time for Sergio Vega to move up. Crookham, on the other hand, to me, I don't need body of work. He's very, very much like Angelo Ferrari. He's damn near untakedownable. You can have his leg and like he'll bend it on purpose. He's hard to take down. He's hard to finish on. And to me, if he's in the tournament, he's a high placer.
Yeah, no, I understand the rationale. It's just like when a guy's been banged up and, you know, we saw him wrestle, 5 matches or 6 matches last December. Had a nice win over Braden Davis. Looked awesome. But then, boom, injured. And now it's been another year we haven't seen him. It's a bit worrisome. Hopefully he's back soon, though. We'll see.
Yeah, again, these are subjective. These are my opinions, and you can say, "Hey, Vega beat the brakes off Brock," and I'm taking Vega, and that's fine. That's fine. For now, I have Brock just a little higher. I mean, and again, how about Oklahoma State's schedule, man? They do national duels. They went out to Arizona State. They're going to Nebraska. Just a phenomenal schedule. Do they wrestle Iowa in the duel too? It's a phenomenal schedule. Okay, so finishing up on 133, it is a really great. It's one of this year's best weights. It's a really great weight. It's a deep weight, and my confidence level for this, it's kind of weird. My confidence level for 125 is like non-existent. Right. I mean, like that the top tier is like, put it this way. I got like Spratley 3rd, right? I got Dean Peterson 7. If either one of them went 2-2, would you be surprised? Because I wouldn't be surprised, right? The difference is at 33, you might not know what, like Davino could beat Bird or Zan could beat Ayala. Okay. But the thing is, Drake ain't going 2-2. That's the difference between 33 and 25. Like these guys, I feel very confident that these buckets of these tiers are in a pretty good order. Like Blaze, Crookham, Bird, Davino, Ayala, Fugit, Frost, Van D, like on the bubble with like Tyler Knox. People forget how good Dylan Shaver can be when he's totally on. Dom Serrano's hard. Dylan Campbell, I love. But I don't think like they're getting upset by like Ethan Oakley or Sean Spidell. Right? And then you got 2 young guys in Kyler Larkin and Ronnie Ramirez. But 133 to me seems pretty clear.
Yeah.
What?
I was gonna say, at what point do you get so confident in Jax Forrest wrestling for Oklahoma State that he makes crystal ball?
Like I said, I talked to Howard Forrest afterwards. After I said this is happening, I was convinced that it was happening. And the timeline of it was pretty interesting because, I went. Like Piles mentioned it on a show. Corby mentioned it on a message board that Jax Forrest was in play for Okie State. Kept my ear to the ground. I didn't say anything. But I went to national duels and everybody was saying that. They made it sound like it was going to happen. And then I talked to Howard, and he's like, it might happen. It's possible, but we don't know right now. And so here's where I'm at with it. I'm going to assume it. I'm going to prepare as if it's not happening.
Yeah.
Until it happens.
And then you get a massive told you so if it does.
Yeah, it just doesn't. I think that Ronnie Ramirez, I think that they were all ready to pull the trigger on it. I think that they were completely ready to pull the trigger on it. And then Ronnie Ramirez looked good. I think they were throwing up their hands at Richie Figs after day one. After Richie Figs, blew a lead against Knox. Wrestled on day one at duels. Blew leads there, just couldn't hold up. He faded late again. I think they were throwing their hands up. We need a better solution at 33. Jax Forrest, line one, get him here. F this. We need him. And then Ronnie Ramirez wrestled solid. And they were like, hold on. Maybe we don't have to go nuclear. That's what I think happened. I'm pretty sure. So, okay, 141, pretty straightforward. Mendez, Hardy, Stanich, Vega 4. You could certainly make the case that Vega should be 2 or 3. And perhaps by the, Nebraska wrestles Oklahoma State, I don't know, December sometime.
20th, I think. Something like that.
God, that's a super busy weekend for me. I really wish I could be there. December 20th. December 20th, I'm running Fab 50 duels, which is there's a bunch of ranked high school teams streaming it on Mass Scouts. Sam and Del Barton and Poway and yada, yada. Okay?
December 21st. Sorry, Sunday.
But that weekend is also RAF. That weekend is also that's the Hendrickson Mason Paris week RAF, which is awesome. And it's also Nebraska Okie State. So Vega could be higher, sure. And maybe that gets answered December 21st. Echemendia 5, really haven't seen him wrestle anybody big this year. Romney 6, same situation. Composto 7, took 4th last year. Composto I'm not in love with, but he always seems to get it done in March. 2-time AA. Vance Von Bauer 8. Then you got Nasir Bailey, Ragusin, who still hasn't wrestled a match at 41. Nagao I put in. Last edition I had Braden Davis, and maybe it is Braden Davis with Nagao's injury, but who knows? Right now Nagao I have in the blood round. Could certainly see him higher. Who knows? That is 141. Not a whole lot of surprises. Pearson Manville makes his debut. He's looked pretty solid. That run 33, 41, 49 for Arizona State looking pretty good right now. All freshmen. That brings us to 49.
I really hope we see Stanich soon.
We won't.
No,
we won't. That'll be a while. I mean, that's the problem with those late summer, early fall World Championships. Guys get banged up. I think he had to have something done, not something major, but something like a procedure.
Yeah.
149. I have Caleb Larkin all the way up to number 2. What do the rankings have him, Bash?
Let me look.
Because in this one I used, because I wanted to get this out, so I used last week's rankings, which are not totally indicative.
4.
Intermat has them at 4.
Intermat has Van Ness 1,
12.
Panero 2, Jackson Joy 3, Caleb Larkin 4, and McNeil the 5.
Okay, so I got Caleb Larkin all the way up at 2. Now people are gonna say, "Well, Willie, that's a big deviation from what you're saying about Vega." I mean, Larkin only has a couple matches and he has a win over Lackland, but not much else. Why is he 2 and Vega's 4? Vega beat Hardy and this guy and that guy. Composition of the weight, 141. There's a lot of dudes. A lot of legit dudes. 149, not the case. Listen how many. This is a thing that I think I do good on crystal ball is I list what they did last year. I list what they're ranked. I list what their big board is. And look at the composition of 149. There's no returning finalist. There's only 3 former All-Americans in the field. And even the guys that I have AAing outside of those 3 they were redshirt last year, 1 and 2 last year, redshirt last year, round of 16 last year, redshirt last year. I mean, it is a complete. It's very, very unproven and unknown. And Caleb Larkin just majored Lachlan McNeil.
Yeah, Larkin's looked awesome.
Ethan Styles is one of the AAs and lost twice opening weekend to 2 guys that aren't even on the. Not even discussed. So the difference between Vega and Larkin is the composition of the weight. 141 has a lot of dudes to navigate through. 149 does not.
Yeah, no, for sure.
157. This is not clear cut at all. I mean, PJ Duke, everybody's going to have him number 1, including myself. I still got Antrell
except for Oklahoma State fans.
Yeah.
I loved your comment for 157.
What did I say?
I know. You want Landon higher. Give it time.
Give it time. He's like 8 matches into his college career. I love him. I thought he was blue chip. What did I have? I had him at 5. Now, 5 doesn't seem like, I don't know. It's a very dubious 5 because the guys in front of him, this class was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Right? You had D. Lockett in there. Who else was ahead of him? It was a really, Marcus Blaze, right? It was a really ridiculous class. So 5 seems, I mean, super high, but so to me, Robideau can certainly move up. But again, this weight has some very strong, like, legacy guys. Antrell Taylor has been good for a long time. Meyer Shapiro has been good for a long time. Tyler Waters, Daniel Cardenas. The Cardenas win was huge to me for Robideau. I have Webster in. I have Brandon Cannon in. Really, and this is completely in contrast to 149, where there's like almost no All-Americans. This way, I have Vinny Zerbin, who was 6th last year in the blood round. Gavin Drexler, who was 8th. I have him going 4 and 2. So tough weight. 157, a really, really interesting weight. Maybe one of the better, more dynamic weights. You know, and you think about like PJ Duke. Antrell had him beat. There was 30 seconds to go in that match. Antrell had him beat at trials. PJ Duke beats Joe Seeley on a stall call. Right? PJ Duke is a gangster. PJ Duke beat Yanni twice. Right? That being said, it ain't a next topic thing. I mean, he was. No, I mean,
Antrell's had 2 top 10 matchups this year and got majored both times. So it's like Antrell. You know, you pointed out earlier when we previewed the season, like, yeah, Antrell just won, but if you run that bracket back, like, Antrell can beat the best. He can also do what he did the last couple of weekends, where at the national duels he gets majored twice by the 2 top 10 guys he's seen this year. It's, you know.
Yep. I mean, and there's a world. I mean, it's been proven. There's a world where your returning national champion takes 7th, takes 8th, right? That can happen. But for now, and the consistency part, I still have Antrell pretty dang high. And Meyer, we're not even going to see till second semester. He's going to continue to be sort of.
Well, it's funny you say that, because when talking about Antrell and some of the other guys, I had put out a tweet about Where do I have it? Okay, so looking at like this was in context of the new number ones Intermat put out after national duels, and I juxtaposed the number ones last year at this time with how they did it at NCAAs.
Yeah.
And you had, of the number ones this time last year, you had 3 champs, 3 runner-ups, 3 did not place, and then 1 in Crookham who couldn't make the tournament. They got injured and he was out. So it's crazy that you like. There's 3 champs and 3 runner-ups from the number ones right now. There's also 3 did not places. 3 guys that were ranked number 1, and that was Figs, Alirez, and Teamer. Were all ranked 1 this time last year, and then 1 and 2, 1 and 2, 0 and 2 at NCAAs. Won 2 matches out of the 3 of them. It's crazy.
Yeah, right. That's how much. That's how much things change, and I think Alirez is probably a good foil for Meyer. Not that Meyer is going to go 1 and 2, but in their season last year, like we didn't see Andrew Alirez. We didn't see him. And that was coming off a red shirt. We didn't see him. Wrestles very sparsely. He was really, really hurt. Probably shouldn't have been wrestling, but he was a senior. So he had to. I mean, that's how hurt he was. But there was no way for us to know that. And so we're going to have a second half of the year Meyer, who very much is going to have a year like Alirez. You know he can win it when he's optimized, but we ain't going to see him for a while. 165. I did keep Caliendo in front of D. Yes, I know that D beat Caliendo. Close match, but Caliendo proven guy over 4 years in a 1 takedown controversial match. I still give the edge to Caliendo. Can D do it? Absolutely. Same thing with Antrell. Well, not Antrell. Brock and Vega. You know, I tend to give, like, let's not be prisoner of the moment. Yes, on one weekend these guys took a loss. Caliendo deserves a little grace. He lost to a great guy on a controversial call. It's not the end of the world. So I still got Caliendo ahead of D. You know, D won a match over Garvin, I think, without a takedown, right? I mean, it was really close. So D's going to have to navigate the Garvins and the Joey Blazes and things like that. Do I think he can do it? Yeah. Do I think he can beat Caliendo again? Yes. But for now, give me the veteran. I'm just. There's time to change this. I'm keeping the veteran higher. But that's really only the big news at 65. Paddy Gallagher making a little bit of a move. I have him at 8th now. And then guys that I really feel like are a clear tier behind, like they could make an upset, but Brignola, Scholes, Sparks, Araju. Burton makes his debut. You got 3 freshmen in there. Araju, well, you also got, including D. You got D as a freshman, true freshman. Araju, redshirt freshman. Burton, true freshman. Will Denny, true freshman. So 4 freshmen in the top 16.
Wow.
174, pretty straightforward. Kennedy and Karchla move up ahead of Minto. Karchla beating Kennedy last year at Big Ten's. Kennedy returning the favor last week at National Duels. And then Minto, Singleton, Steed, Wask. Pretty good, pretty solid weight class here with Pinto, Mantanona, Lorenzo Norman, Alex Facundo. Alex Facundo I had at 7. I dropped to the blood round. And you know, he's obviously a guy that could do it for sure. Can he beat a Wask, a Steed? I mean, he's right there with Minto. You know, here's the thing with Alex. if Alex can find a way to finish a shot, he's going to be in the match with anybody. He just can't. He gets the legs and can't finish.
Yeah, it is worth noting that Gabe Arnold wrestled, what was it, last weekend? Or this weekend? At 184. And he basically alluded to the fact that he'll be at Soldier Salute at 174. So it'll be interesting. You know, I don't think Gabe has given up wanting to make the lineup. I think it's one of those things where you have two good guys. But it sounds like we could see Arnold fighting for that spot at 74 at the Soldier Salute.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just gonna keep Kennedy in there. Garrett Rowe. The difference is Vega wrestles for Okie State, so Willie doesn't get the respect from Nebraska. Willie, Garrett Rowe, are you new around here?
Because stop touching the mic. You break it every time.
I gotta tighten it up. Vega could win it all. Well, I would not take him against Jesse Mendez, but Vega certainly could be. First of all, you're Garrett Rowe. You must be too new around here to know that it was not a long time ago that I was called Cowboy Willie. There were memes created about it. There's actually a small miniseries on Netflix about it. They called me Cowboy Willie because I loved Oklahoma State so much. But now I'm Husker Willie because I have
the Belichick sweatshirt.
Brock Hardy, who was NCAA runner-up, still ahead of Sergio Vega. No, it has nothing to do with Nebraska Okie State. I just applied the exact same perspective to Caliendo Lockett. So now am I Hawkeye Willie? Stop it. All right. 74, not much to talk about. I'm still a big Simon Ruiz fan.
Yeah, 174.
84.
Yeah, I was going to say 174 is pretty like straightforward. Like,
yeah,
not a lot of arguments. 184, on the other hand, feels like it's one of the most subjective weights right now, to a degree.
It really is. Now, 184, I really feel as if there's a top tier of four guys. I don't think this is as clear. I think this is one of the more clear, okay, here is a tier of title contenders. And now you could say that in other weights with like one guy. Like Jesse Mendez is the tier. But 184 is very clear. And I have it Welsh, Ferrari, Mickinelli, Sinclair, and I think that's a top tier. And let's put it this way. Would any of you in the chat listening now, or Justin Bash, would any of you put a nickel if I created a line that said the champ at this weight, you get the field. I get these four guys, you get the field. Would you put a nickel on that?
Which four guys?
I get Welsh, Ferrari, Mickinelli, Sinclair. You get everybody else on earth.
Yeah, I'll take Zach Ryder for a nickel, definitely.
No, you're an insane person.
Okay. For a nickel? Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
To drop Ryder from that tier is crazy talk, in my opinion. I'm a big Zach Ryder guy, so you call it bias, but I do think to drop Ryder from that tier is a bit crazy. I think he's right in that tier.
I don't. I mean, I think he's an AA. I think he's an AA contender. I think now here's where you get it twisted. Here's where you will get it twisted. There's a train at your house.
It comes by every day at 5 a.m.
Zach Ryder. So Zach Ryder might go. You'll recall this segment, right? This is what will happen. Zach Ryder will go on this year and he might beat a Sinclair. He might beat a Mickinelli. He might beat a Ferrari. He might beat a Welsh. Okay? And then you'll come back to this segment and say, told you, Willie. Told you, Willie. Zach Ryder's in that tier. No, my friend. No. That does not make him in the tier. The tier is not for guys that could beat one of these guys. The tier is who can navigate the bracket to win the entire tournament. So don't come back when Zach Ryder has a big win. Don't come back and say, I told you so, because that's not the bet. The bet is not who can beat one of these four. The bet is who can navigate the whole bracket to the end and win the whole thing.
I think that's fair. I would put Ryder in with those four. I would.
I think Ryder could, on his best day, beat one of those guys. I do not think he can.
All right,
all of them in a day.
All right, here's my bet for you. We'll bet $100. Ryder finishes top 5 in NCAAs.
That's not the bet. That's not the bet.
You got him 7. I'm basically saying he's going to outperform your expectations by 2.
But that's not the bet.
Okay, I'll say Ryder top 4. $100. Forget the nickel.
$100.
$100. The chat heard it.
Yeah, well, no, that's not.
No, here we go.
That's not the tier. That's not the tier.
To say he's in the top 4, to finish top 4, he navigated the bracket. Oh my God! So if he beats a guy, it's not the same thing. If he places top 4, it's not the same thing. So what is it? What do you want him to do? So beating a guy and finishing top 4 is not that doesn't count.
The goal is
You're
the goal.
a crazy
person. Tier is the tier. Which guy?
I'm going to say he's going to end in that tier. I'm going to say
which guys can win this bracket.
You just keep moving. You keep moving the goalpost.
No,
which is it? If he's in that foursome that could win it, then finishing in that top 4 means he's in that tier.
No, I have a tier. I have a tier of guys that can win NCAAs at 184 this year. I have a tier of guys that can win 184 this year. Not place 4th, not beat one of them. Yes, Zach Ryder can do that. Zach Ryder can do that. What he can't do, in my opinion, or what at this juncture on Tuesday, November 25th at 11:39 a.m., to me, Zach Ryder has not proven in his freshman year thus far that he can win the whole thing.
Do you want the $100 bet that he's finished his top 4?
No.
Okay, you chicken.
It's not a chicken. It's a different conversation.
I'm just asking you if you think he'll finish top 4. I'm asking you to put your money where your mouth is on your predictions at this juncture.
That's not my predictions.
Your prediction right now is he's 7.
My prediction right now is that he does not win the tournament.
Okay, but your prediction is also 7. You don't do crystal ball ranges. This isn't a range for these guys.
It's 7. Can Zach Ryder beat Dylan Fishback? Yes.
Just you said no. That's fine. I got my satisfaction. So you have Penn State Willie. We got to switch shirts right now. So Penn State Willie has Rocco ahead of Angelo. A lot of people very bullish on Angelo, rightfully so. Has not given up a takedown. What's your rationale here?
It's really tough. Here's my rationale. My rationale is.
Oh, that a boy, T-Ram.
My rationale is that Angelo just doesn't look like a guy that's going to lose. Like he looks like he has the it factor. You can't take the guy down. He'll figure it out. He gets in on your legs. He's offensive enough. His defense and scrambling and splits and leg defense is incredible. I really, really want to take him, but I like Rocco's offense.
Yeah.
I like Rocco's offense. How's Rocco going to finish on Angelo? I have no idea.
The only thing that would worry me if I'm a Hawkeye fan for Angelo is that when you have all those close matches, all it takes is, Angelo's defense is very good, but all it takes, you're talking about the 184 tier and navigating the bracket, all it takes is one takedown, and that's it. That's the
one pause in the scramble. Instead of wrestling fluid, you did one thing for one fraction of a second. I mean, look at this. Look at the Sinclair match. One split second. If Angelo didn't do something or did something different, Sinclair damn near had him taken down.
I know, and these guys like Sinclair and like Rocco, and like we saw in the All-Star Classic with Ryder, like when they get to their offense, all it takes is one takedown. And if he loses, if I told you right now, crystal ball, Angelo Ferrari is going to lose a semifinal NCAA's 4-2, and then win the third place match and finish third, and that one takedown was the lone difference, like that wouldn't surprise me one bit.
Right. I mean, to the Hawk fans out there, you want to say, Angelo, next topic, he's winning it. He's the guy. Willie, I'll bet you $1 million Angelo wins it. More power to you. I don't blame you. I don't blame you at all. And, by the end of the year, I might, who knows, 2 weeks from now, I might have him there. But right now, I like Rocco's offense. 197. I continue to have Justin Rademacher too. I love him. I love Rocky too. But Josh Barr, number 1. Rocky Elam, Rademacher 2. Elam 3. Novak 4. The story here at this way is Endine. I mean, I did not have him doing this well. I didn't. I think the first iteration of this, the preseason, I had him round to 16-ish.
Yep.
And he's passed all the tests, but he's like passed them like by the skin of his teeth, Really close match with Merrill. I mean, Stout had him beat. Stout.
Yeah, but you say that and you're not wrong, but I love the hustle from Endine to go and get it in those final 10 seconds. Like,
no, 100%.
You know what I mean? Like, I know you're not taking it away from Endine at all. I'm just saying, like, I saw somebody chirp you when you literally said, like, awesome win for Mo. Like, you weren't saying he didn't deserve to win it. I love when somebody like Endine wins those close matches because it shows you he has the heart, it shows you he has the grit, it shows you he has the conditioning, and I've said it, like,
no. And you know what I like about Endine? Confidence is a very scary thing.
Yeah.
He might have came into this year being like, I don't know. Like, I'm the king of D3. I don't know. Now this is a different level. And he got a win, and he got another benchmark, and he got another notch in his belt. And now confidence is a very scary thing, and he might be this dude. On the flip side, if with 3 seconds left, Max Stout holds on to that win, now what's the conversation?
But to be honest, like, you have him 6, which I think win or lose against Stout, I think is a good place for him. I think he's proven that he can hang with top 10 guys. We have another huge test this weekend. I think it's the match of the night. You're going to have Endine Elam.
100%. But like, I think
I don't think Endine is like going to go undefeated, but I just think he's going to be in the mix. I think he's proven that he's going to be in the mix.
You have to love what he's done thus far, but you also have to acknowledge that there were several nip and tuck bouts there.
100%. Yeah, and I mean too, like, the D1 schedule, let alone the Big Ten schedule, is a gauntlet. So he's going to have to go through it. It's not just win a couple matches in November, like. But his projection right now is as bullish as you can be, given, I think, how he's looking. And again, a huge test this weekend against Rocky Elam.
Yeah, and could make another statement. I mean, Rocky's Rocky's track. I mean, Rocky was number 9 on my big board. I mean, that's how good that kid was. And coming out, that was a kid that was way, way better than the fanfare that he got. There are some guys that are number 9 on my big board that have parades thrown for him on social media. This guy is awesome. This guy is great. Oh my God, we got this recruit. This is amazing. Rocky Elam was so good in high school, and nobody ever talked about him. Nobody ever, Yeah. That being said, he is far, far removed from production. I mean, we haven't seen him in 2 years, So, really, really, and Dean, I just got this Crookham thing. This Crookham thing is percolating, boy. I got a text from like a guy here in town just now. I just got a text from a guy here in town who everybody, Crookham is a hometown kid. Everybody loves Crookham.
Everybody loves Crookham.
In high school, he was the talk of the town. I just got a text, hey, what's up with Crookham? From some guy I hear from twice a year. And it's always at NCAA's time. Hey, how do you think Lehigh will do? This guy just was like, hey, Willie, what do you hear about Crookham? It's gonna be a thing. 197 cleared out last year, but a pretty good weight. You got some youth injected in there, and some good storylines despite all the defections. Heavyweight, I'm still going younger. I'm still going AJ. You guys might say, well, he lost to Feldman. Why isn't he lower? I don't know. I just felt like it was a one takedown match, 6'5". I don't know. I'll take AJ next go round. Simple as that. He looked great against Gattiali.
Yeah, Ferrari was also. I don't want to take anything away from Feldman getting that win. Ohio State looked awesome. It was a little funny. Like Ferrari, AJ was watching Angelo's match and like locked into it 2 minutes before, his match. And it's funny because you could see the same thing at Big Tens. You could see the same thing at NCAAs. Like those two could potentially be in.
I'm not saying by any stretch of the imagination. And this has happened several times throughout Crystal Ball. I'm just not. Just because a guy won last week does not mean that he's going to win in March. Does not mean he's going to win in the duel. So by no means am I saying that Nick Feldman isn't going to beat AJ Ferrari next go round. I'm just saying I ain't picking it.
Yeah.
And another thing that I noticed, I was at Nebraska all week leading up to the duels, and AJ's just getting back. AJ's just getting he's not fully go yet. He's like, I don't want to, what's the term for it? If like NFL, they're like practice report. This running back was a limited participant. That's what AJ was in practice. He was a limited participant all week. Okay, so I in conjunction with his whole entire career, in conjunction with how close the matches were, or the match with Feldman, seeing what I saw as AJ he wasn't a hard full practice every day. I think I'll still go with AJ. The real question here, Nathan Taylor, another Lehigh, we got Stanich, we got Crookham, and Nathan Taylor. Nathan Taylor's a real player at the weight, but who knows what he is? I mean, Is he an All-American contender? Well, he's certainly an All-American contender, but is he a 4.56 guy? Is he a blood round guy? How good is he? He's good, but he's been injured forever. On the flip side, he works out with Zach Ray is one of the best heavyweight coaches in the country. You got Kirkfleet in the room now. So there's a reason for optimism, but there's just lingering questions. So there's a question with him. There's a question with Keeter. By all indications, he didn't wrestle at national duels. I highly doubt he's going to wrestle in the Cy-Hawk duel, but we'll see. And by all indications, this was not a lingering effect from the procedure he had in the spring.
Well, Keeter wrestled this weekend.
He did?
Yeah.
Who did he wrestle?
Dayton Pitzer, 1-2-0.
Oh, yeah, that's right. So he's back.
Yeah. So I think we're going to see it, yeah.
2-0. And he won he won relatively close. Did he win relatively close-ish against Bellarmine?
8-2.
8-2. Good. I've completely spaced it on the Pitzer thing. Well, that's great.
That's why when I was doing the Cy-Hawk duel, which we're going to end up having to do a second show this week because we're already 2 hours in. We haven't got to Cy-Hawk duel. We haven't got to RAF 3.
Well, we can do another show.
Yeah, we'll do a show maybe tomorrow to get that. But when I was going through and I'm like, just like the Cy-Hawk duel, like I think we're going to get Keeter and Bastida. It's literally going rankings-wise, 7 versus 10, 3 versus 6, 8 versus 7, 10 versus 2, 12 versus 3, 3 versus 22, 2 versus 11, 1 versus 10, 8 versus 2, 6 versus 1. I mean, it's crazy.
Where's it at?
I think it's at Iowa State this year.
Finishing up on heavyweight. Questions about Taylor. Questions about Keeter. I mean, he's back. Okay, but how healthy is he? I mean, he was not healthy enough to wrestle. I mean, I guess. Here's the thing. Whether or not he was needed at national duels is one thing.
Yeah.
But he was in street clothes. He wasn't in street clothes. He was in his warm-up, but he was wearing sneakers on the bench. So he was not going. So the injury had to be at least bad enough that they said, under no circumstances are you wrestling. Right? Which is interesting. But obviously he's healthy enough now that they had him wrestle in a duel they didn't need him against Pitt. So the next question becomes, he's healthy enough, but how healthy and how...
Yeah, like I wish we had one more match after that to see like if what was the commentary after? Like after he wrestled Pitzer, was it, yeah, I'm good, I'm ready to go? Or was it, I might need another 7 to 10 days? You know what I mean? Like based on how he felt in that matchup.
Yeah. Yeah. I Ben could finish higher than... I have him 7. It's conservative. And then Marisola 8. The guy you really have to... Well, I think there's 2 guys that you really have to keep your eye on. Other than that tier. Other than that 8 that I have on the podium. Is Doucette. Because I think Doucette could upset... I mean, I don't think it'd be out of the world if... out of the realm of possibility if he beat a Nathan Taylor or a Keeter or a Marisola. He's big and he's good. He looks great. And then Braxton Amos. I mean, he's sort of an enigma, right? We haven't seen him in a long time, but then he wrestles younger. He has younger, lead on younger late. So he's sort of an X factor.
100%.
Team scores, Penn State way in the lead. Ohio State makes a big jump over, I think they were 4th or 5th. I think they were 5th. And they jump Nebraska. They jump Iowa. Nebraska's still 3. There's some...
Yeah, but you have Ohio State 107, Nebraska 106. 1 point separating those two.
Yeah. That's 1 point separating those two, despite the utter destruction that Ohio State put on Nebraska. Yeah. That, I didn't put a whole lot in that week. I mean, I still got Feldman behind AJ, which is, advantage Nebraska despite Feldman winning that head-to-head. I still have Antrell ahead of Cannon. So if you're an Ohio State fan and you're saying, Husker Willie, Ohio State should be way ahead. You put a little respect on Feldman, put a little respect on Cannon, who majored Antrell. Fine. You have a right to feel that way. And if you think Ohio State should be more than 1 point ahead of Nebraska, yeah, I'm not arguing with you. So then Nebraska third, 6 points ahead of Iowa. I mean, Iowa certainly with the ability. Iowa certainly with the ability to pass Nebraska or Ohio State. I mean, they're only 7 point different from Ohio State. Okie State, 88 in fifth. And, dude, this is, if you made it this long, we're almost 2 hours into the show. It's almost at the 2 hour mark. If you made it this long, full circle. Because you tell me what's the difference. You ask me what's the difference. Save Jax, save Jax, save Jax. Yeah, save Jax. Because right now, Jax Forrest is the difference between Okie State taking fifth and Okie State taking second. So there you go, pal. What's the difference? What's the difference? What's the difference? Is Okie State partying on Saturday night. Okie State getting on the podium. Okie State making noise on Saturday, which is utterly. You guys want to talk about and DT on the recruiting trail and all the hype and all this and all that and attracting talent and making noise. And you want to talk about how coaches talk to high school recruits and bringing them into campus and showing them a good time. I will tell you, recruiting pitch in wrestling on the planet than Saturday at NCAAs in March. There's no better recruiting pitch. There's no substitute. You can't call a recruit up and say, hey, we're going to be great. Hey, you fit in nicely here. Hey, we love you. Come to campus. We'll show you a good time. Be part of the next generation. Be part of the legacy. None of that matters squat in comparison to Saturday. And when it's up on the big board and when it's scrolling across the ticker on ESPN on Saturday – and it says placing, do you want to be fifth or do you want to be second? Do you want more people wrestling in medal matches on Saturday night in the finals? That's the difference between Jax Forrest going and not going, and Oklahoma State is crazy if they do not try to get Jax Forrest in his lineup.
Every time you touch the mic, your audio gets 30 seconds behind for 3 minutes.
Every time I touch, there must be a wire.
I don't know why, but whenever you touch it, the screen goes black, and then you're...
Well, that sucks because that was a great monologue.
No, they heard it. So. They heard the monologue. Your mouth just got there 15 seconds before it. But, yeah, I mean, there's a lot to kind of digest or talk about in that, because Oklahoma State could also have a lot better performance than you're predicting and still end up partying on Saturday like they did last year. But based on your thoughts, that's
they could, but you're leaving a lot to chance. That could happen. Oklahoma State could take third could take, I mean, maybe take second.
Yeah.
Oklahoma State could maybe take second. Maybe. Without Jax. Okay? But you're relying on Connor Doucette to get on there. You're relying on Troy Spratley, who very well could lose in the blood round. You're relying on freshmen. I mean, the ceiling couldn't be much higher. D. Lockett, I already have him at third. Can't score much more than that.
Robideau, you've what, third? No, fourth.
Robideau, fourth. You can't score much more than that. Vega, fourth. You can't score much more than that. Okay, he beats Hardy. Okay, he takes third. Takes second. 7 points. They could. But if you're a coach and you not leave it to chance, you empty the chamber. This is a national tournament. You empty the chamber. You give your team the best shot to finish as high as you can. You do not save Jax Forrest for 2028. 2029. You don't save a generational talent for 4 years down the road. When now you're just getting started. This is the David Taylor era. You don't want to take fifth or sixth. You don't want to leave it to chance. You seize the day. Get Jax Forrest in the lineup.
Cowboy Willie. All right, we'll be back probably Thursday's Thanksgiving, so probably tomorrow we'll preview Cyhawk Duel and RAF 3 and any loose ends. That's the show. Go Bills.